What's happening? 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 Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Nights with Nikki. I feel like it's been a month of Sundays since I've seen you all. It feels like it's been a minute, but I'm here. I am here and I am happy to be here with all of you. Tonight is Wednesday. You guys, I did an interview with my sister Angela Laverne Brown Williams Stone in this mother effer. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was really, really fun. Um, we talked about a lot of things. So you guys make sure if you're not already, you are following Angie Stone's Instagram channel. Hello. Thank you for watching me on her YouTube channel. Thank you for watching me on Instagram. If you are watching me on Instagram, one of the three people, I appreciate you, but I also encourage you to come on over to my YouTube channel because, we are building it and I'm really excited about that. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Twitter. I see you, LaShari. Hey, pink waving hand. I see you. I see you, sis. I see you. I see you. I see you. You guys, there's been a lot going on out here. I feel like hold on. Is something running? Oh, I felt like something was running, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a lot going on out here in these entertainment industry streets. The Puff or Diddy, as you guys call him, I know him as Puff, stuff has just taken over the entire news cycle. But we want to get into some of the other things that have been happening. There have been some other things happening out here in these entertainment industry streets, and I love. Hi, Zelen. I see you, Zelen. Hello, my love. It is so good to see you, my sister from Detroit. I appreciate you for jumping in here. You guys, again, if you're watching me on YouTube, feel froggish, going over to the Cash App. I'm sorry, to the Cash App. You can go there too. I'm going over to the YouTube and check us out on YouTube. And make sure if you're watching us on YouTube that you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Jacoby says, "Hey, Nikki from Flint, an hour away from Detroit. I see you. Hey, Zelen. Hey, Zelen. I wish I could get to the premiere. You guys, I had the pleasure of participating in a film called He Looked Like a Postcard. He looked like the postcard. My sister from Detroit, Jessica Care Moore, she is an internationally known poet and just an all around incredible woman. She produced this film project on her own as a filmmaker. And I'm super duper proud of her. And I play her best friend, Chuck. And they are screening the film in New York. So I wish the team the best. Zelen was a part of our team. She made sure that first of all, tell Ra, I said, I see you. Tell him I said, Auntie Nikki says hello. Her baby boy was just he was a joy on the set. a lot of really beautiful women. And Zelen was one of those beautiful women who had just had her baby. And baby, she was in there making sure that the locks was locking, the hair was hairing. If we needed help with wardrobe, she was like, bump it. We just doing everything. And that's just kind of how we do in the city of Detroit. Well, women in general, where we see there's a void or opportunity for us to be of service. Most of us anyway are glad to be there. So yeah. Oh, you're not going to this one, Zelen? Oh wow. So we gotta wish the team, the He Looked Like a Postcard film team, a great screening in New York City. I'm so proud of you, Jessica. So proud of you, Jessica. Matter of fact, hold on, you guys. I gotta get this real popping. Boom, boom, boom. I love this DJ horn, air horn. He Looked Like a Postcard film. You guys make sure you follow on Instagram and all those other places. Yes, it's a lot going on. Speaking of Detroit, we gonna talk about the fact that brother Meech, Big Meech, y'all, I don't know if you've heard or not, but Big Meech has been released into a halfway house. And Big Meech is a big figure in entertainment and out here in these, especially Detroit. They're from Detroit, BMF. There's a series about it and everything. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Big Meech being released from prison. We are also, you guys, it's a lot going on out here. Liam Payne from One Direction, um, is unfortunately no longer with us. It was reported today that he had an accident. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers abruptly, I believe it was tonight, leaving the stage because there was some sort of laser or red dot. That's scary. Super duper scary. We're going to get into a little bit of politics, just a smidge. It looks like our former president, Jimmy Carter, is voting for Kamala Harris. We're gonna get into that. And also, one story that I'm super duper excited to share with you guys is Tyra Banks is back on that runway. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The original supermodel is back on the runway, and I got a clip that I want to share with you guys, with Miss Tyra Banks. And also, I got some music I'm going to share with y'all. Sneak peek, share with y'all a little bit of Brownstone's upcoming single. Yes, we got a new single coming October 24th. Super excited about the single. I'm going to talk to you guys about that, and I'm going to share a little bit of a snippet of that single, but of course we're going to do that a little later on in the show. You guys, I understand that you're tired of the YouTubers always asking you for this, but I'm going to have to ask you to please, as you come in, hit that like button. Please hit that like button, because you hitting that like button is the way that the algorithm the knows that we are, in fact, you're enjoying the content. So, and also, if you're enjoying the content, do me a huge favor. And our Cash App is $Fight for Worth. We are an independent media company working to someday, one day, hopefully become a conglomerate. So please, if you would be so kind and you feeling froggish, please leap into that Cash App. So let's get into some of these stories of the day, starting with our former president, Jimmy Carter. It says here, according to Deadline.com, Jimmy Carter voted by mail today in the 2024 presidential election, fulfilling a goal as he remains in hospice care and passed his 100th birthday early this month. A spokesperson for the Carter Center confirmed that the former president cast his ballot but provided no other details. The ballot was put in a drop box at the Sumter County Courthouse near Plains, Georgia, where he lives. Jason Carter, his grandson, told ABC News this week that the former president planned to vote for Kamala Harris. Jason Carter had said during the summer that his grandfather had the goal of living long enough to vote for Harris. Carter's son, Chip, told Atlanta Journal-Constitution that his father absolutely voted for Harris. His wife, Becky, dropped off the ballot at the drop box. Carter's three Democratic successors were Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and they've been campaigning for Harris as well. Clinton, Obama, and Biden today were attending the funeral of Ethel Kennedy at the Washington Cathedral in St. Matthew Apostle. So, congratulations, former President Jimmy Carter. Oh, you know what? That deserves a DJ what? Air horn too. So let me find my air horn. Hold on, you guys. We gonna get it cracking. Okay. Thank you so much, former President Jimmy Carter, voting for Kamala Harris. That's super dope. And the fact that he wanted to do that and that was on his bucket list. We are praying for you, and we hope that you live long, and thank you so much for supporting the first ever Black woman president. Now let's get into some sad news. Liam Payne, One Direction star, is unfortunately gone. He 31 years old, which is way, way, way too young. He fell from a hotel balcony, allegedly. This is what's being reported by TMZ. And let me say this. Let me offer this disclaimer. The reason why when I do lives, I'm a little apprehensive about saying things as if they're fact, and I always throw in the word allegedly, is not because I don't believe victims, not because I don't believe that people abuse folks and that these things actually happen, but I have my own personal experience with the media and how things can be misconstrued and folks can have stuff confused. It was TMZ that reported that Maxie passed away because she, fell off of something at a soccer game or something, which is crazy. So again, because I know, and this is no shade to TMZ, I used to watch the show. I have no issues with the people over there, but I do know that sometimes they don't get the initial reporting exactly right, which is why I am always a little conscious of how I frame these stories. Please, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the like button. If you're watching us on Instagram, please make sure you share this. I know that it only shows that it's like one or two of y'all on there, but I know that they're, even if one or two of you get the message, it's all good. And one or two of you can ease on down over to that YouTube yellow brick road, because in truth, at some point I'm going to end the live on Instagram and keep it moving over here on YouTube and Twitter. So please head on over. All you got to do is click the link in my Instagram bio and it'll take you right over to my YouTube channel. Make sure on your way into the YouTube channel that you click like and subscribe. Okay. Let's get into this TMZ story, remembering Liam Payne. Sources close to the situation tell TMZ that Liam Payne and his girlfriend Kate Cassidy arrived in Argentina on September 30th, posting several social media posts together, showing them having a fun vacation. We're told she left Argentina on the 14th. Liam stayed behind and checked into the Casa Sur hotel. We're told someone at the hotel called 911 to report an allegedly aggressive male at the hotel, which lines up with what witnesses told us about Liam's behavior in the lobby. Excuse me. Okay. We're all getting this information together. I didn't pre-read none of these stories because I'm becoming familiar and want y'all to become familiar with me. We're told she left Argentina on the 14th. We're told someone at the hotel called 911 to report an aggressive male at the hotel today. Liam Payne is gone after a fall from his hotel balcony in Argentina, TMZ has learned. The former One Direction singer passed on Wednesday evening. Several witnesses at the hotel where he was staying in Buenos Aires tell us that Liam fell from his room on the third floor, of the Casa Palermo Hotel. We do not know if it was intentional or accidental. Yikes. TMZ has seen a photo showing, okay, that's too much. Whatever. Showing him on the deck with the tables and chairs nearby. You can clearly see his tattoos, his left arm. Okay, blah, blah, blah. They're explaining the details. Basically, I guess that's their way of saying that they confirmed that it was him. We're told this happened shortly after 5 p.m. and that Liam had been acting erratic, allegedly, in the hotel lobby earlier. He smashed his laptop and had to be carried back. Wow, had to be carried back to his room? Oh my. Allegedly. Let me read this again because this is crazy. If you're watching me on YouTube, please do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you're watching me on Instagram or any of the other platforms, please do me a favor and go over to YouTube and hit subscribe. So this is really interesting. It says, we're told this happened shortly after 5 p.m. and that Liam had been acting erratic in the hotel lobby. He smashed his laptop and had to be carried back to his room. Police and other first responders are all around the hotel. Authorities have put a red tent up. While they're doing the investigation, I'm sorry. He had been there recently for a concert. He was 16 years old when he joined One Direction, and the group became the biggest boy band in the world after their 2010 launch on the show X Factor. The band ultimately broke up in 2015 as he was considered one of their main songwriters. As reported, he struggled with alcohol and prescription drug addictions. At one point, when One Direction was on tour, things got so bad and so severe that he had thoughts of ending it. Earlier this week, there were reports about his ex-fiance, alleging he left her. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's all hearsay and gossip. We won't get into the gossip and the hearsay. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's so sad. Liam Payne from One Direction, which, has been said to be one of the biggest boy bands and boy groups on the planet. What do you say? First of all, from the artist community, it's really sad, and I'm sorry for his family and all of his supporters and his fans and his girlfriends and everybody who loved him. That is super, super sad. This industry is tough, as I think everybody is learning. I think that we're all getting a real bird's eye view of just how toxic and destructive superstardom can be if you have other issues at play. And a lot of times fame brings on those issues. And, it's interesting because I was talking to a friend of mine today, actually, about, the illusion of fame, what a vapor it is, how easily it just dissipates and goes away. I was talking about how we spent most of our lives as artists and creatives, hoping to be successful and having all these big dreams about what fame and success ultimately means, not just for us, but for our family and friends and the people that we love. And then we later discover that the industry itself is just built on so much toxic, destructive behavior and misogyny, and people don't really care about you. Now, I'm not suggesting that, I'm not trying to blame what happened to Liam Payne on the industry, right? That's not what I'm here to do. What I'm saying is that clearly he was in one of the biggest bands in the world. And based on what the people in the hotel were saying, by him smashing his laptop and having to be carried back to his room, I don't know what was going on with him. But if that did in fact happen, my heart breaks for him, because you just never know what people are going through, And here it is that, they're in Buenos Aires, which is supposed to be a really beautiful place. And I'm sure it was a really beautiful hotel, and they were celebrating and having a good old time. And something came down on him like a ton of bricks. And I don't know. We don't know. We can't speculate. Nobody wants to say, we don't know if it was an accident. We don't know if it was intentional. We don't know if it was something else. It's just really sad that, the entertainment industry is just such a dangerous place for young people, and pain and depression and addiction and sadness or whatever it is. It doesn't discriminate. It's a lot of human beings out here that discriminate, but those feelings and emotions and problems and issues, they don't discriminate. It doesn't matter that you're wealthy, because if you're wealthy, then you have another issue. Like I said, and I say it all the time. People, we as a community tend to be really consumed with how much money somebody has or how much fame somebody has. And I say all the time, there are people who make billions and billions of dollars. No pun intended. I don't mean this as a disrespectful comment to Mr. Payne, but people are. I don't know that he did this, but there are people who jump off of bridges and jump off of balconies, and because money and fame is just not enough when there's something deeper going on, and people always call me an auntie. I was having a conversation today. We were talking about respectability politics, which is a really big, interesting conversation that we're going to have at some point, right? But I care so much about creatives because as a creative, I know the burden that we carry. It's like, how you watch a superhero movie or a TV show or something, and the superhero, outside of being a superhero in their regular life, it's either something really, really tragic that happened that made them become a superhero, or they were like, what do you call it? Like, just something traumatic and terrible, or their personal lives are just totally screwed up, but they save the world and carry the world on their shoulders. Artists and creatives kind of have a similar existence in the world, because while we don't have capes and we're not running around leaping tall buildings in a single bound, what we do creatively, as artists, as songwriters, as performers, what we do has a healing aspect to it, right? What we do does carry, the gift. That's why they call it a gift. We are gifted ones, right? We have the ability through our music, through our songs, through the things that we write and produce. We have the ability to positively or negatively impact millions and millions of people. And we just work and live in an industry where nobody has taken the responsibility of making sure that your artist's mental, emotional intelligence and health is intact. People talk so much shit about me when I was talking about the Whitney Houston, when I was a pundit during the time that Whitney Houston passed away. And I talked about, the NFL, the NBA, and all these other major players. They do not allow you can't just be working in the NFL and in the NBA and in corporate America and being high and drunk and belligerent and out of control. They won't allow you, even as an entertainer. I remember, when we did the Essence Festival, because Essence is a brand, there's like something called a morality clause or something in there, something similar to a morality clause, where if you go and you do some wild shit, it's a wrap. Your contract could very easily be voided. And honestly, a lot of these artists, when they go and they do these agreements, I'm sorry, y'all, look at the bags. A lot of these artists, when they go and they do these agreements with these sponsors and stuff, there are clauses in there where you could lose your endorsements and lose your deals. The one place where that does not exist, maybe it exists, but it is not enforced, is in the entertainment and music business. And it's really interesting to me that this industry would allow for so much destructive behavior, because your assets are your talent, just like with the sports industry. So it would seem like corporate America and the powers that be and the people who give these people record deals. Now, I get it. I know that, the average person thinks, which is a lie, but the average person thinks that artists just need to be high in order to be creative. That is dysfunction. Artists don't need to be high to be creative. In fact, artists probably perform better when they're not under the influence of narcotics or drugs. Our gifts and our voices and our endurance and our ability to deliver and perform. You know what I'm saying? We need to train like athletes if we're really doing what we're supposed to be doing as artists and creatives out here in this industry. You know, I go to the gym on a regular basis because it does my mental, spiritual, and emotional health well, but also because my big ass got to be out on that stage for an hour, running back and forth, singing them songs full throated and from the diaphragm. And physically, it is challenging. So I can't do it under the influence. Not the songs I be singing, honey. You can't sing. I can't do those, you know, under the influence and not able to move around and do what I got to do. So physically taking care of yourself, mentally taking care of yourself, and spiritually taking care of yourself as a creative and as an artist is tantamount. Super, 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 super important. So I am praying for the family of Liam Payne. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, he's 31 years old and the leader of one of the leaders of one of the biggest groups on the planet. And I just think it's really long overdue for the entertainment industry to put on a big boy and big girl panties and start figuring out how to fix this mess. Because these artists and these creatives are dropping like flies for whatever reason. And it's just, you know, it's time for some kind of think tank or some form of coming together and figuring it out, because I understand. See, here's the other part of it. I understand that once an artist makes a record, they ain't got to be around for the record to stream. Matter of fact, when something happens to an artist, I'm sure his streams are going to go sky high now that this tragedy has occurred. And that is just a dangerous thing because, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine in the industry and he was just like, yeah, a lot of artists are worth more gone than they are here. And that's terrible. And it's so defeated. And it's the wrong thing to believe and the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing to believe because if you develop artists and you're able to build longevity, everybody makes money for a very long time and those records are still equally as effective. So I'm not going to go on and on and on. I'm really sad to hear that Liam has passed away. Please, you guys, if you are watching me on my Worth.tv YouTube channel, please hit the like button so that you can tell the algorithm what's really, really going on. You guys, OMG. I am so excited about this story. It really made me feel good. I'm going to show you guys this video and then we're going to be right back to talk about it. Matter of fact, hold on one second. Yeah. Yep, I'll show you guys this quick video. We'll be right back to talk about it. Honey, Miss Tyra, you better what? Walk, honey. First of all, I had to mute the music so you guys couldn't hear the music. But Tyra Banks came out of retirement to close out the 2024 Victoria's Secret fashion show. Tyra Banks has returned to the runway after nearly 20 years in a very iconic way. And this is USA Today. Thank you for the article. On October 15th, Tyra Banks 50 strutted down the runway to close out the 2024 Victoria's Secret fashion show. The former America's Next Top Model host wore a black bustier with crystal embellishments, sparkly pair of leggings, and a silver cape and a pair of strappy heels. She hit the runway. Banks blew kisses. When she hit the runway, she blew kisses and waved to fans and cheered for her comeback. On Instagram, she shared a video and she said, just in case you forgot, boom, boom, boom. Definition of I still got it and never lost it. Boom, 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 says a fan. Another one says, how could we ever forget? I'm screaming. And the third said, you look amazing. Back like you never left, baby. Honey, child. Hold on, let me get my DJ air horn. Oh, hey. Tyra Latrice Banks, honey, You did that. I love it. I love the fact that Tyra is letting the youngins know that she ain't lost a step. And baby, she is giving you curves, and she is giving you motherhood, and she is giving you beauty, and competing with those young wannabe legendary supermodels. You understand what I'm saying? So I felt really great reading that story, because Tyra Banks has always been a really great example of a go-getter, a hustler, somebody who, America's Next Top Model. I think she's doing Model Land, which is an amusement park. Tyra knows how to flip it, slap it up, flip it, and rub it down. And baby, she walked that Victoria's Secret runway. And I understand that Cher was also there. So shout out to our girl Tyra Banks. Shout out to our sister Tyra Banks. We're going to get into a little Q&A after this. Don't we love some Tyra Banks? You guys, if you are watching me on YouTube, please do me the favor of hitting the like button. And if you're one of the 2 people watching me on Instagram right now, please go over to YouTube and watch me there, because y'all see what they're doing. Matter of fact, I'm going to end the live on YouTube, because we finna get into this big Meech conversation. And guess what? Yes, I went to the BMF party where they had all the zoo animals and stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all all about it. You better come over to YouTube on IG. All right, YouTube, I had to just go ahead and move them scragglers over there. Again, if you're watching me on YouTube, I need you to do me a huge favor. And I need you to hit, oh, hi, Facebook. That's so exciting. I'm sorry for not acknowledging y'all on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. I didn't know I was on Facebook tonight. I guess I hit that go live from Facebook button. Okay, we like it. We like it like that. Let's get into this big Meech news, you guys. And this one ain't gonna be a long-winded ass live tonight. All right. According to the Jasmine brand, reports that Demetrius Big Meech Flannery has been released from prison. He was initially scheduled for a 2026 release, but previously reported the Black Mafia, but as previously reported, the Black Mafia family co-founder was convicted of operating a national continual criminal enterprise and a conspiracy to launder money instruments. And the scam started in the 90s and repeatedly brought in more than more than $270 million. That's some old Detroit gangsta shit. Big Meech was released from FCI Coleman and transferred to community confinement, i.e., the halfway house. Y'all, all I gotta say is it's gonna be a party in Detroit. It's gonna be so many parties. It's gonna be parties everywhere. But Detroit, stand up. Detroit, stand up. I don't know what the fascination is with our hood superheroes, but Big Meech would definitely fall into that category. I think a lot of people are excited that the brother's being released. You know who I'm excited to see be released from prison, and I hope it happens, is Suge Knight. I just want to know what would happen if we had Suge Knight and Big Meech. I don't even know if they're cool or not. I'm neutral. I ain't all off into that. But it's just, yeah. I would just be curious to know what the industry would be like, because see, here's the thing. And I know some people be like, well, it's criminal or da 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 da. Honey, it's criminals running corporations. It's just the ones from the hood always get caught. Because, that's just how it goes. But, there are criminals everywhere. Blue collar, white collar, green collar, no collar. Yeah. So, the world is excited to hear that Big Meech has been released from prison. I am personally very excited to hear his perspective on things. I don't know what happens when you get released from prison. Well, yeah, you can, because a few people that worked on From the Bottom Up. I'm sorry, guys. Hold up. And I'm gonna see if I can play this for y'all. Do I have it? Hold on. While we talking about Big Meech, I got something I want to play for you guys if I can find it. Hold on. Bear with us, sister. If you guys just came in here, then do me a favor. If y'all just came in here and hit the like button on YouTube, please and thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. I'm gonna run a video. Somebody Forever Deshaun said, "When you write, you write." There it is, baby. I'm gonna run a video real quick. I want you guys to take a look at this because we're talking about BMF. And I had someone connected to Black Mafia family on my show From the Bottom Up, right? And it's not very long. It's about 5 minutes long. I want you guys to take a look at this, and then we're going to talk a little bit because I'm really excited to get Brandy Davis back on my show. So take a look. Catching up with Brandy Davis, the 34-year-old mother of one who served federal time for conspiracy.
I'm starting from nothing. Like, I've been gone 7 years and some change, and it's like everything I had is gone. Yeah. I was involved with a guy, you know, and he was a drug dealer. He got caught up doing some things, and I was a part of it too. Like, you think you're being loyal, you know, when you're in love with somebody, you want to do everything right, where you want to be there for that person through ups and downs. Right. But you never take into consideration the consequences that you may get from the things that you're doing, you know? He ended up, like, turning against me and stuff and everything like that, I'm just ready to be there for my son, and I just want him to see me as a powerful woman.
Yes, like, ma'am. What I love about your story is that it'll speak to a younger generation of women, because those are the ones we have to reach.
And those are the things they looking up to, like, okay, you see the videos, you see the guy with this, you see the guy with that, but at the end of the day, what comes with it?
There you know.
I just want to be a voice for those who don't have, you know, they don't know.
That is is Brandy Davis. And Brandy Davis actually served 10 years, and she is from Detroit, and she has some alleged ties to the BMF Black Mafia family, and she was on the show From the Bottom Up, and we had an opportunity to really unpack her life story and some of the things that she encountered. So I have to say, I think that the city of Detroit and everywhere else is geeked up about Big Meech being released. I believe when a person has paid their penance for whatever, you know, they have done in life, they deserve a second chance and a second opportunity. And I just feel like men like Suge and men like Big Meech, I want to pray and hope that those brothers have a lot to add to the conversation, because, you know, they were around back in the day too. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of this stuff allegedly was happening. So I would just really love to hear some perspectives, you know, from Black men who don't strike me as being cowards, right? That's the thing that I think makes me most interested in what people like Meech and Suge have to say. I don't get sellout, fake, and coward from either one of them. You know, I get they gonna hit you with the truth and as they see it and as they were there to see. And I just, you know, I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I know Suge, and I may have met Meech once. I did go to a BMF party. When they had like all the animals and all this stuff. Actually, one of my best friends used to throw a lot of their parties. I got invited to a couple of them, and you know, I thought they were extravagant and, you know, fantastic. I didn't know all the other stuff was going on. That wasn't my business. I was just there to have a couple cocktails and have a little good shake a tail feather, and it was fun, and it was, you know, that's all I did. Just like I said, them 2 Diddy parties I went to, I didn't do nothing out of the ordinary. And I do want to talk a little bit about that. I know that we're getting kind of burnt out on this whole conversation. You guys, do me a favor. If you're watching me on YouTube, do me the kind favor of hitting the like button. I would really, really appreciate that. And if you're watching me on other platforms, please make sure that you go over to WIRF, WIRF.TV YouTube channel and WIRFTV.com. And of course, if you're feeling froggish and you want to support, you know, content for us, by us, please, we definitely accept that $ FIGHT for WIRF as well. So let's get into some Q&A. Are there any questions? Do any of you have questions for your girl? I don't know, for some reason I can't see the Twitter comments and questions. I do see you guys watching on Twitter. I do have to say this early voting. Early voting has begun. Georgia, I think they did over 200,000, something like that, early ballots. And yeah, I'm getting my butt over there before the week is out. Stacey J. Johnson said on She Speaks Live something really interesting, which was 7 to the polls, 7 for 47. So if you can get 7 people, take them to the polls and have them vote blue down the ballot. Just vote blue down the ballot. I'm going to say it one more time. I think, maybe I shouldn't be saying that because, the things that you can say and not say on YouTube. And I definitely like my monetization and want to keep it. Let's talk a little bit about this Diddy thing, because I have heard a lot of people making a lot of comments about the recent allegations that have come up, right? Number one, I want to pray for all of the content creators and the YouTubers and, the reporters that are out there, because, it can be really overwhelming to just go through and comb through those allegations and those claims, and emotionally draining. So I encourage you to take a breather, take a step back. We got a whole year to talk about this thing. So for those of you who are day in and day out want to be first, you know what I mean? I get it, because, hey, I ain't trying to tell you not to go get your bag, but I caution you to be a little more responsible in the reporting, just because some of this stuff is starting to get ridiculous. It's starting to sound ridiculous. Now, maybe all of it actually happened exactly the way that it was said, but you got a lot of stuff out here that is starting to... I just want people to always be reminded that you got to center the conversation around the fact that there are actual real victims, and they become re-victimized when we start making jokes about, baby oil, and, oh, well, you shouldn't have been there, and, oh, this person is lying, and, oh, this person... We don't have the facts, guys. We don't have the facts. And if you don't have a Pacer account, you really don't have the facts. If you don't have a lawyer in your pocket on speed dial, then you really don't understand the facts. And the facts are all that matter in this case. So I encourage all of these, folks out here with a lot to say to just be more factual. And by more factual, I mean reading the claims word for word, because it could be one word in there to switch some shit up and make that whole line before it irrelevant. So everything else is speculation. I think that we were told early on that the Cassie incident, as brutal as it was, is not something that he can be locked up for life on. I'm not trying to diminish or minimize what she went through at all, because it was horrible. But at the end of the day, we keep having these conversations. We have these conversations about Bill Cosby. We have these conversations about R. Kelly. We have these conversations about all of these predators, the Weinsteins, the Epsteins, the whatever. There has to be a head of the snake, right? And I'm not... listen, that ain't my fight. That's for Homeland Security and the people who can handle that. I'm just giving a little perspective. We're just having a little dialogue about it, right? But you have to be careful about making a mockery out of some of the stuff that people are just throwing out there that is irrelevant. Again, I think when a claim is filed in a litigation, then it gets serious, right? Because a defendant has to respond to that in a court of law, or it gets real extra serious. Everything else is speculation, innuendo, and nuance to make it compelling and to drive traffic. So let's just be real about it. A lot of people are out here putting 5 on 10 or 10 on 5 because they want likes and clicks and shit. And there are real, actual victims out here that you got to consider. And the reason I'm speaking on the victims is because that's part of the reason why it's so hard for those of us who are trying to amplify the voices of victims to get them to actually feel comfortable coming forward. Like the Sarah Stokes documentary. we have gone back and forth so many times with this documentary, because when people feel like you don't care about their story and what they went through, then it makes them less interested in sharing it. And when they don't share the story, it just, makes it terrible for the little girl in the house is being, done wrong, because I got to watch my words on YouTube, by somebody, and doesn't see a warrior woman fighting back, because the warrior woman is like, shit, I'm not about to do this because nobody cares, or people are going to laugh about it, or people are going to call me a liar, or people are going to say, and that shit is terrible, because you just keep creating more victims. When you start making jokes and shit about issues that are so serious. So this Diddy thing is very, very, very serious. And if you don't have a Pacer account, I would advise you to get one if you're going to be talking about it. And if you don't have a Pacer account, then you shouldn't be talking about legal issues as if you know what you're talking about, or if you don't have access to the actual claims. Not necessarily a Pacer account, but access to the claims. What up, Big Meech? Speaking of Meeches, that's my Meech from Detroit. I see you, brother. He says, state, relate, prove, conclude. That's the formula for any debate, reporting, and storytelling, period. And he was a debater in La Trope, baby. So you know what you're talking about. State, relate, prove, and conclude. And here's the thing about it, though. You can't prove or conclude anything in this Diddy case until the trial is over. That's a lemon seed. I'm drinking lemon water. Everything you're doing at this point is to build buzz and draw traffic. I'm not mad, because I'm trying to build a buzz and draw traffic too. But I'm being more responsible about reporting about things that you can't state, relate, prove, and conclude, as Meech says. So again, if you're watching me on YouTube, please do me a huge favor and click the like button. If you're watching me on any other platform, please go over to YouTube and click the like button. Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions for me? Where are we? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I think I might be under an hour today in real life. When the village, Meech, honey. Meech just said, when the village becomes the villain, all trust is gone. When the village becomes the villain, all trust is gone. That's deep. Who do you trust when the person you trusted has now become the villain? And here's the thing. That's a good segue. Baby, I just talked about not going with rumor and innuendo. But if any of these rumors and innuendo that I've been hearing from credible sources is true, that statement about the villain in the village, baby, Black people, not just Black people, all people who have deified your favorite celebrities, get ready in my TD Jakes voice. Because, baby, and I hope none of it is true. Y'all might have seen some of these little things floating around here. Again, it's not healthy to talk about stuff that can't be proven and where there is no claim filed. And I'm not just saying that every innocent victim has to go to court and file a claim. Like, people can just tell their story and share their stories. But we got to think about why we're sharing these stories, right? Are you sharing this story again because you want popularity and you want clicks and you want people to watch your stuff? Or are you sharing these stories because you want to help others as cautionary tale, as, beware, don't go there, you know what I mean? And, this came up in a conversation I had today too. And I want to really figure out a way to do this a little better for myself personally. So, and it's because it's not the first time that it's come up specifically with me. So I have been told by a few people that I respect, that I love, and that I know love me, is that my opinion on certain things can come off preachy, auntie, and sprinkle with a little bit of respectability politics, right? And Meech, that was really, really good. Look at that. So people have said to me, you know what I'm saying, that they feel like, you know, I come off judgy and, you know, whatever. And I'm gonna say this, yeah, yes, and does and do, but let me cook real quick. There is this idea that because you know, I've said before, I'm gonna say it again. I'll say it till the cows come home. My booty hole brown, my coochie pinks, like I can't. I love Cardi. I've said it on my lives before. I love Cardi B. I love Meg. I hate the song WAP. And hate is a strong word, I know, but I hate it. And I hate it because I feel like those women are so beautiful and so talented and so sexy. And there's a way to say it and deliver that female sexual empowerment that is not so explicit because they are such huge megastars. If you are sort of the underground, there was this underground rapper called Akinyele back in the day. I think I said his name right, Akinyele. And he always had some real, like, it was really nasty. You know what I'm saying? And even Luke, like, you kind of knew, right? And this kind of goes to the conversations I've had over and over and over again about C. Dolores Tucker, right? Deshaun said, I've been accused of some of the same thing. Yep. I think people confuse discernment with being judgmental sometimes. Firebomb says, Nikki, you're right in your opinion. And it's right. Exactly. So I have a right to my opinion. Exactly. And so here's the thing I want to say. This is something I want to throw out there for us to kind of unpack a little bit. Please like if you're watching me on YouTube. So here's the thing. Because it's come up multiple times, right? You know, you want to be careful in a time when misogyny is just it's just rampant and it's crazy, right? You want to, and men, you know, controlling women's bodies. Like, you really want to be careful and delicate in how you have these conversations about what is exploitation, what is sexual exploitation, and how much is too much, right? I don't want to come off like C. Dolores Tucker, but let's unpack C. Dolores Tucker for a minute, because there's only one C. Dolores Tucker. And part of the issue that she had in the early 90s when she was trying to prevent us from running into this, you know, brick wall that we are now slamming into head first. There's something about age and wisdom, especially when it comes from a Black female voice, right? A matriarch, that energy, that spirit, because the youth feel that we are judgy and critical because they don't understand how far out our view, how far into the future we can see based on our experiences from the past and how much more we've lived. I hope I said that right. Used to be a saying back in the day where they say, if I was your age and knew what I know now, if I had your youth and my knowledge, right? There's a reason we say that, right? And I think as a society, we become afraid of the younger generation. We have become either exhausted from trying to get them to get the shit right, or just, you know, some of us just flat out fear what comes with actually telling people the truth about what's happening, right? And I remember a very clear time that I was called a auntie and judgy was, I saw a clip from the Essence Festival, and in the clip, it was just like a whole bunch of twerking and wilding out and whatever. And I was like, damn, this is a different Essence Festival. It's a different energy, right? And a lot of my peers were like, damn, this is a different energy, because Essence was something that just represented sort of an elevated, I know that might not be the right word, but ride with me on this shit and quit being so sensitive about everything. It elevated the image of Black women. Essence magazine was the magazine that you looked to for the natural hair, the skin with the not no whole bunch of makeup, healthy living, healthy skin, melanin. Essence just had this polish that was just Essence. You got an Essence, it was a thing, right? Now you got Word Up, you got Hustler, you got Drop It Like It's Hot magazine and all that other stuff that carries all that other stuff. Essence always represented elevation in Black women. So when I saw the clip, I said something about it because I felt some type of way. And a lot of other people said something about it because a lot of them felt that type of way. And we were all in the same demographic, age group. And when I think about other cultures and other communities, and I think about how they honor their elders and they honor customs, and you know what I mean? Like, you just don't see, I've said it before, you don't see Indian girls and Indian women walking around doing this. You don't see white women running around, bitch, I beat that, that. You just don't see it. You understand what I'm saying? And like, I get that, like, it's our thing, and so they not us, and we Black, and we got rhythm, and we whatever. But we are also at the bottom of the barrel in so many spaces in our community. There are so many things about our community that are not right. So many things about our community where we are not, spaces we're not thriving. Yeah, we could do drill music and rap music and talk about the streets and talk about the whatever. But what about that mother whose son became an artist and he was only an artist for a couple of years before his life was ended way too soon? What about the young girl who, was the rapper and doing X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, and something horrible happened to her allegedly at a Diddy party and changed her life forever? The lyrics, the constant partying, the constant sex, drugs, and rock and roll is a problem for us. We are at critical mass because that is all that we have been consumed with as a culture. It's not that it's not okay for us to do it. It's just that is not all of who we are. I mentioned the BET Awards. I love the people at BET. I love the people who produce BET, and hopefully they don't take offense to my honest opinion about it and see it coming from a place of love and keeping it real. It turns into a space where you're just like, well, damn, does everybody have to show their ass? Does everybody got to have a nip? So does everybody got to drop it low and spread it wide in a bathing suit? Like, I get that that's what the kids want to see. I get that that's the vibe of today. But I also think that there's a lot of responsibility that has to be taken by these corporations and these companies that would never allow their own daughters and sons and nieces and nephews to be on TV doing that. They would never allow them to sing those songs and perpetuate those stereotypes and those narratives. They would never stand for it. And we endorse it and we encourage it and we say this is sexual freedom and sexual liberties. And there's some things that, take it too far. And I'm not going to pretend like the shit is cool because it's popular. And that, to me, is the bigger issue. We get caught up in the popularity contest and who hot and who whatever. The same people making these people hot. Okay, let me get into some questions because then I'm about to say some shit. But you also do your best to be fair and leave room for people to be informed and develop their own opinion. No disrespect to your loved ones, but keep your preachy spirit. Yep. Hands down. Listen, now they said I preach it. I don't care. One thing about me is I like myself. I love myself. And I ain't perfect. And sometimes I'll be like, well, damn, you ain't have to say it like that. But it's rare that I look back and be like, damn, that was terrible. You had bad intentions. You shouldn't have done that. Because I just don't get down like that. And for those who are not able to think for themselves and keep their opinion intact, then that is a symptom of them needing their own research. Yep. Glad I caught you on live. It's been a great show. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please hit like on your way in and your way out. It's the language barriers, Meech says. When the times change and the youth are looking to change the status quo and take the bull by the horns, they always feel we don't get it, but we lived it in our way. Absolutely. Because, baby, honey, listen, I will do a nice little ass shot in a bathing suit in Miami. Right. So it's not that I'm like opposed to like showing your ass. I mean, I've shown mine before. It's no big deal, but it's just counterbalance and not allowing that to be every single thing that we see. And being really careful about the mantras that we're repeating out here, because these lyrics and these songs and these words and shit that we are using and saying, that is we are repeating what we want to come back to us, right? You know what I'm saying? Period. And we got to be careful about that. The lyrics of sex, drugs, and criminal money need to be erased from the culture. Hallelujah. Take a sip of lemon water on that. I'm glad somebody said it. Sorry about the lemon seed. I'm glad somebody said it. Because listen, it does have a very damaging impact on our community. It's just a fact. You can't go into your job working at the hospital singing sexy red lyrics out loud in the waiting room while you're working at your computer. You can't go to your job in corporate America singing wet ass in the conference room. And there's a reason you can't do it. Because there's a time and a place. And unfortunately, in Black entertainment, it does not, the separation from professional artist and stripper, just the lines are so blurred, because now every young girl that comes into the industry in all likelihood believes that she has to show her ass a little bit and a little extra cleavage and be extra sexy in addition to being extra talented in order to succeed. And that is sad. That is very sad. Deshaun says, where is the Boondocks when we need it? I agree. Firebomb says, we are cursing our people with these lyrics. Words have power. Music is a spirit. Some even believe that God actually sung the word. And you know, they say the devil was the angel of music. So there's that. And the low-hanging fruit is always entertaining because it is easy to obtain. Plus, we are so busy wanting to stay true to the streets, knowing that the streets don't give a damn about them. Listen, let me tell you. Because, again, back to Big Meech real quick and Suge. I believe, please hit the like button if you're watching me from YouTube. Please and thank you. Because you see these dark circles under my eyes ain't here because I'm not working my ass off to keep y'all entertained. Wait till y'all see this video. We just edited. Oh my God, I'm talking about it tonight in a minute. But I'm sure if Big Meech and Suge, and even when you think about like Ice Cube and Dre and like all of these rappers and stuff, back in the day it was F the police and da-da-da-da-da-da. And as you grow up and you evolve and you live life and you see behind the curtain, and the wizard is really just a little man pulling some strings, and you start to realize what this shit really is, then you want to educate younger generations and say, hey, listen, I've been there. I see what is behind door number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There's nothing there, right? So change your direction so that you can have some longevity and so that you can miss some of those pitfalls that I had to fall into and learn the hard way. And unfortunately, these kids just hard-headed as fuck, and they just don't want to listen. I don't like how these negative stereotypes are becoming synonymous with being Black, and those of us who challenge them are being labeled as haters. Exactly. And what's crazy to me is there are people in very high places pandering to this narrative because what has happened is the top of the food chain, which ain't Puffy, the top of the food chain is going to continue to serve us more of that garbage that is not good for us. So when you see one version of a male or a female hip hop artist or rapper succeed, and it's encouraging us to sip syrup or to do lean or to lay with somebody for some money or to drop it low and spread it wide, you're going to see that image over and over and over again, right? And back to the C. Dolores Tucker thing, just for a minute. I know the stories that a lot of these brothers out here are rapping about from their experiences in the hood are real experiences and very real stories. Some of them, not all of them. Because there's some cell block. What was that cell block? What was that parody of, the gangster rap thing? CB40 or whatever. But I know that some people really are just putting their experiences to music and rhythm, right? And it's genius. But I was listening to somebody talk about how they did this cipher, and if the lyrics started to become too degrading or like negative, they would stop them and be like, your flow is dope, your cadence is dope, your lyrics need work. And they would go and they would work on the lyrics and make something even more dope, right? So a lot of times we don't even realize that what we digging and what we feeling, excuse me, what we feeling when we're listening to these records and we're vibing and they own this cadence and they own this rhythm, we're feeling the vibration of like how they riding the beat and the cadence or whatever. A lot of times these rappers don't even be opening up their mouth. So those of us who are a little older really don't be knowing what they saying. And the only reason why the kids know is because they go and they pull the lyrics up online. So it's, for example, that ready to get started, such and such and such and such and such and such, where the little dance where everybody was doing the little TikTok craze or whatever. Who had any idea that that was actually about the number of BODIES that certain people said had, but whatever. We were into the trend of it. We were into the dance. We were into the TikTok of the moment. Nobody had any idea they was talking about taking people's kids away from them. So my issue is there is a much bigger issue than just the rappers who rap about those things. Who are the adults in the room that are allowing those rappers to reach hundreds of millions of people globally? Many of them are doing it even though they know, they look at how, right. I mean, like, that's the new thing. The new thing is Ice Spice. And I'm gonna say this: protecting our family name is important, but when all the sinless got a different last name, the siblings, I'm sorry, got a different last name, who are they representing and what legacy is being built? You know, these are all really great questions. Please hit the like button if you're on YouTube. These are all really great questions. And, it's just really sad to say, you guys, walk with me for a minute. And I'm going to give y'all a little sneak peek of this Brownstone moment. But walk with me for a minute. I got really sad when I thought about the Black entertainment and media business and how great we once were. If you are old enough to remember the time, no pun intended, Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney, Aretha, Luther, all these incredible talented singers, a time when Black artists and white artists came together to make great records, James Ingram and Michael McDonald. I was listening to Fame, What's the Matter? David Bowie. Baby, listen. Brownstone redoing the Eagles. It was a great time in music where music and art actually bridged gaps and brought together communities and races and genders, in a really beautiful, positive way. And the songs and the lyrics, inspire positive changes, right? And when you think about the songs that you listen to on streaming platforms or on YouTube, it's the nostalgic ones. It's the ones that are written from a place of real artistic freedom and a level of comfort as an artist, and knowing that you could be the best artist that you could possibly be and make the best possible music. And there was no prerequisite that required you to be a thought or a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Or a gangster or a thug. You were just able to be a dope, incredible artist. And there were people, although the contracts was some bullshit, um, you still felt like your executives and your record folks were record people and they cared about you as an artist. And I feel like when the Tupac and Biggie thing happened, it changed everything musically and artistically in this world and put it in a space of we're concerned about the commerce and the driving of the traffic and the sales and the revenue when something tragic and terrible happens to these creative people more than we are making sure these people are healthy and whole. And the industry has been controlled by people who just don't care about us, you guys. I feel like Michael Jackson's discography and his songs, they don't really care about us. I feel like Michael Jackson could be a narration for this entire business. And he tried to tell us, like we've been trying to tell the young ladies and the young men that are coming after us. He tried to tell us in his music. Prince tried to tell us when he wrote Slave on the side of his face. We have had the most successful artists on the face. Bob Marley tried to tell us. Nina Simone tried to tell us. Billie Holiday tried to tell us. Whitney Houston tried to tell us. All of these incredibly talented artists and musicians and creatives, and not just, I mean, come on, speakers. Ozzy and Ruby, Muhammad Ali, all the advocates from the past who happen to be athletes and entertainers and media personalities all tried to warn us for years about where this industry was headed, about how toxic and destructive that it was becoming and going to be. And now we're in a situation where I don't even know if we can come back from it. I don't even know that it's possible for art and creativity and music to thrive in the way that it once did, because now they found another solution, which is artificial intelligence. And the type of music and the type of algorithm and the type of energy that they're putting into it, the type of songs we're probably going to be getting. Like, imagine little robots emulating more and more Sexy Reds. And listen, let me say this, because I really shouldn't have named her, right? And that's disrespect. I apologize, Sexy Red. I do. I apologize, because it's not important for me to name you. And I don't mean any disrespect at all. But I have to ask, if your niece or your daughter or your little sister or your little cousin was running around singing lyric for lyric your songs and running around performing step for step your moves. I understand you grown, them kids, that ain't your responsibility. But there are kids out here in this world that don't have the luxury of parents being with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to shield them from the type of music and the type of messaging that is out there today. And I just ask, like, and so many artists say that. I don't think Cardi B would want her kids running around singing, even though, I mean, I don't know, maybe they do. Maybe that's the auntie in me, but like, who wants to see their little young cousin or niece or daughter running around singing some of these lyrics? Or some of these young, I saw a video of a little boy who couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old, and he was just emulating like he had a GUN in his hand, and he was doing the lyrics, and he was rapping all the lyrics, and they was, yeah, get it, little man, get it. And I'm just thinking to myself, why are we trying to encourage him to help fill the prison systems? And guess what? Kid could be a straight A student and never go to prison and grow up and become a doctor and whatever. But the chances of us being able to overcome these narratives and this music and these lyrics and this toxic, destructive behaviors that have been amplified and magnified and duplicated over the years, in time to save future generations from falling victim to that negative. Because here's the thing I want you guys to really, really take in. And this is a very important thing to consider. The same way when we heard Pharrell's song Happy, when you just something in you triggered, something in the song triggered, happy young if you feel like happiness is the truth. Cause I'm happy, clap along if you. When that song come on to this day, if you riding in the car, something about the cadence and the rhythm and the energy in that song makes you feel happier than you were. When you hear a gospel song that just hits you right in your heart because it is a song of inspiration. So why do you think that you don't get the same vibration and the same confirmation of energy when you hear something toxic and terrible and destructive, especially if all these things that we've been hearing about allegedly, freak offs and all this other stuff, like if this is what the industry has been since the 90s, this isn't about shunning women's bodies and sexuality and respectability politics. This is about denying a culture that was created by a culturally incompetent, misogynistic lens. You can't say in one breath that a lens is misogynistic and the date R wording and rugging and all that stuff that occurred allegedly, that toxic lifestyle, the people who were part of the building blocks of that lifestyle, encouraging other artists and signing other artists and writing with other artists and creating with other artists, are not perpetuating that same negative, toxic, destructive stereotype and magnifying that. You can't separate, the misogynistic male shit from the artists and the creatives that person made that are also engaging in behaviors and subject matter that's equally as repulsive and degrading, just because they may be a woman. You just can't. Well, I don't. You can do what the hell you want to do because we all grown up in here. But I think if you're going to change the community and we're going to change the direction of entertainment, we have to be honest about everybody from here to here and figure out a solution that allows us to have a more counterbalanced representation of who we are. Because if you ask Black people, if you ask anybody in any space in the world what their thoughts are on Black people based on what they've seen reflected in the media, what you think they're gonna say? I mean, in Japan, they don't see your next door neighbor who is a, married family with kids that are doing really well in school, and the guy down the street who owns the auto repair shop, or the lawyer next door. They see the entertainers and the athletes and the media personalities and social media that are amplified, that are showing a very destructive, toxic version of who we are. And that is who they believe Black people are. I know this to be true because I've talked to 7 of them on a call. On a call for the doc that I'm working on. And every one of them had a very shocking opinion of who we are. And y'all can say that's just 7 people, but I challenge you. Ask around. See what people think about who we are. And that is important. There's somebody out there, I don't give a shit. Oh, well, who cares? They did it to us. No. Time out and later for the excuses. They are mere monuments of nothingness, building bridges nowhere. We have to take accountability and responsibility for the shit we do to ourselves and how we teach people how to treat us. The same people don't really have talent. Gimmicks, right. And it's cheap to produce. At the end of the day, the shit is cheap to produce. So think about it. If you have a question about whether or not I'm engaging in respectability politics, or I'm just being too much of an auntie, make a list of all the things that could be considered sexually explicit that are hot in entertainment today. And then on the other side, make a list of the things that are encouraging and uplifting and inspiring and move our culture forward. One list gonna be this long and the other one is gonna be this long. And I don't have to tell you which is which. So speaking of trying to elevate and not get caught up in the drama and the bull sugar honey iced tea of this world. Dun, 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 dun. So tired. But we almost there. Ooh, hour and 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. Real quick, you guys, Brownstone is releasing a new single. And I am going to play just a teeny tiny bit of it for you. Just a teeny tiny bit of it for you. Because we want to surprise everybody with this release. Let me say that I'm super duper proud of what we've been able to do with this Brownstone brand. I was talking to someone. Here's a transparent moment. You guys, please do me a favor if you're watching on YouTube. Do me a favor and hit the like button. I appreciate it if you watch. Thank you. Wherever you're watching, hit like. I have a real problem when people say, ain't nothing like the original. God, I wish Maxie was still here. God, why can't it be Nikki, Maxie, and Mimi? Wow, I really wish all three. I understand. If anybody understands, I understand. Nobody other than her child and her family misses her more than I do, or wishes that she was here to sing the notes, to sing the songs, to be here to celebrate 30 years of If You Love Me. That is just not where things are, unfortunately. And it is triggering and heartbreaking every time I'm reminded of the fact that my sister is no longer here to sing with me. What I've done over the years, and it has not been easy, is I have done the very best I can at trying to reinvest in every way in the brand so that our legacy doesn't just go away. I know that for a lot of you, you just see the songs and the videos and the clothes and the performances, and really shit. It's like, look, all we care about is the music. Just do the music. All that other shit don't matter, right? I get it. But we are human beings, and we suffered a tremendous loss. And it's funny because I was talking to somebody today, and Aaron and Alexis, two beautiful souls in this image over here. They are truly sent by an angel. I believe that angel's name is Maxie. There are moments in our sisterhood, even when Tisha was in the group, she said it, the moments in our sisterhood that, I am like, oh my God, that's such a Maxie thing. It's a Maxie thing to say. You sound like her on this note. It's just crazy to me. I know she is present. And while we've been working on this 30-year anniversary album, we've been seeing 111, which is her birthday, like literally everywhere. And Aaron and Alexis, who are biological sisters and my sorors, and Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Yep. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Aaron and Alexis, their work ethic is impeccable. Their energy for moving the ball forward, their respect for the legacy of the group, the way that they honor Maxie, the way that they honor this opportunity, I couldn't have asked for better. When you start thinking about elevating a brand and pushing a brand to the next level, I know a lot of us get caught up in wanting things to be the same. Like you want the foundation of I want that Brownstone sound. That original Brownstone sound requires something that is no longer here. unfortunately, something that will never be here again. And the analogy for me that makes this all make sense is, imagine a hurricane. Actually, Aaron and Alexis were in Hurricane Katrina. They're from New Orleans. They were in Hurricane Katrina. I feel like my career in music, with the loss of Maxie, with so many other things, has been as turbulent as a hurricane. The loss of Maxie in and of itself is a fucking hurricane. As a trio, we've experienced devastation from a hurricane. Aaron and Alexis literally, me figuratively and emotionally. And what happens with a hurricane is it wipes and sometimes washes everything away. What was once standing and what was once there will never be the same again. And you got two choices: to walk away and rebuild something else somewhere else, or to respect the foundation and the history that was once in that space that got wiped away by this hurricane and rebuild there. And although you're not going to build the same structure, it's not going to have the same bells and whistles, it is possible to build something that can continue to grow and thrive and restore. And that is what I look at this Brownstone brand. I look at this Brownstone brand as a brand that has been literally wiped out by a hurricane. And we are rebuilding. And I'm so proud of the people that I'm rebuilding this brand with. If we were an NFL team, if we were an NBA team, if we were any other brand, it would be acceptable for us to acknowledge the previous championship teams, but to keep working for a new ring. And that is what we're doing in Brownstone right now. We are acknowledging the greatness that we were 30 years ago on October 24th. That shit came out 30 years ago. In about 9 days. 30 years ago, If You Love Me came out. And we have decided that we are reimagining what it would be like to have If You Love Me 30 years later. We thought about Maxie. A lot of people don't know this, but Maxie was a big fan of what she called jungle music or dance music, which is kind of soca, Afrobeats. Maxie from South America. Maxie actually moved to Europe because she wanted to work on techno, dance. She had released a couple of dance singles. That was her heart. That was her space. Rhythmic, sexy, musical, global musical sound. So I thought, why not include her spiritually in this process of re-recording our greatest hits and some new stuff. We're releasing this single, If You Love Me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying not to get too choked up. So the dramatic pauses are indeed to keep me on task. I'm about to get out of here. But we're so excited about this record because we want to honor Maxie's South American culture, her love for dance and electronic music. We're going to be sharing throughout this record a lot of beautiful visual moments that you've never seen before. Our first single, If You Love Me, yes, we re-recorded If You Love Me, baby. And it is delicious. And don't be expecting it to be just exactly the same way as the original, because it's not. It's very different, very special. I'm going to play some of it for y'all just a little bit because I want you guys to come. We're going to have a virtual listening party right here on YouTube and Zoom and Worth TV. And we're going to talk a little bit more. Y'all might hear some of the same story again. This record is so empowering for us because I really just didn't want to go forward when Maxie died. I was like, fuck music, this industry, and everybody involved in it. I hate it. I don't want no parts of it. YouTube is going to probably, oh Lord. How come we can't just talk regular YouTube? But anyway, I was done. I was like, forget about it. Finished. because it just felt like a whole like nothingness. It just wasn't worth it. And then I was like, look, if I do that, then Maxie really is gone. I mean, she really is gone, but the legacy is now gone because I'm too afraid to face, the fear of it not working without her. I don't have that fear anymore. This is new. It's fresh. It's exciting. I'm gonna play some of it for y'all, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Hold on. What'd you say, Meech? Have you ever spoken with Black Rose from Levert? I'm sure you two have those feelings in common. I have not. Yeah. And I saw Dave is Tolliver, and somebody else is doing Levert, like a Levert moment. So yeah, it's a lot. You guys, listen, losing a group member, I don't wish that on anybody. It's terrible. It's hard. Every time you hear the song, every time you perform on stage, you're reminded of what you don't have. But we're going to keep this thing pushing. All right? We're going to keep this thing pushing. And no, those are not the original members. Maxie is in heaven. And let me say this real quick before I play the song too. Because I kind of lightweight snapped on somebody because they had a Mimi. Well, you didn't acknowledge Mimi, and you don't acknowledge Keena. You don't. Mimi and Keena ain't on their Instagrams and Facebooks and YouTube acknowledging me either. Right? Number one. That is the number one and most important thing for me to say to all of you. They're not acknowledging me either. Not because we have beef, because we don't. We're fine. We're all fine, actually. And there are a couple people from TV shows and networks that reached out trying to find the mess. They were reaching out to fix my life, to see if they could fix Brownstone. And everybody was like, what? It was kids and we're all good. But anyway, Mimi made the decision, Keena made the decision, and quite honestly, Maxie made the decision, and she came back, but they all made the decision to walk away. And it wasn't because I was a bitch, and it wasn't because I was a tyrant, and it wasn't because I was a terrible person. It was because they wanted to pursue their musical dreams and endeavors, and we were kids in our 20s and always together and always singing together. And of course, they had this whole Nikki's the lead singer thing that was not created by me. It was more the network and the fans and the folks. I keep saying network, but record company. Anyway, I digress. Keena wanted to go and do her Girl from the Gutter album and be Keena. Maxie wanted to go do dance and electronic in Europe, and she went there for 10 years and worked on that. And Mimi wanted to do a jazz album, be a mom, and be an educator. It had nothing to do with me being a terrible person. I'm the person who wanted to keep the Brownstone brand going because I've never wanted to be a solo artist. I've always appreciated harmonies in the group, and thank God Alexis and Aaron are here to help continue to move this brand forward. If you're interested in knowing what happened with Tisha, you can go to brownstoneofficial.com. There is a very, very clear, straightforward video where Tisha says out of her own mouth, very similar to what I just said about Keena, very similar to what I just said about Mimi, and very similar to what I just said about Maxie. Tisha said, I'm tired of being second. I want my name on the marquee. Those words came out of her mouth. She wants to do gospel music. She wants to pursue her gospel career. I am a person who has consistently always wanted to be in a trio. And that is why I keep the Brownstone machine going, right? I'm not sitting around waiting for somebody to change their mind and decide they want to come back and be a part of the group. When a person expresses to me that they are ready to move on and become a solo artist and be out front and center, and they are, in quote, tired of being second, and if you want to see that video, go to brownstoneofficial.com and you can see that there, then it's time to move on because this is a business and a brand. And I have the responsibility of maintaining this business and maintaining this brand because my sister Maxie, who is no longer here, we built this and stuck with it. When she came back, she was here. But my point is just, it is a beautiful thing to be a few days away from 30 years on this single. And I'm so excited. I'm going to play a little sneak peek. I don't want to play too much because I want y'all to come to our virtual listening and viewing party Our video is done. Our visuals, our official video is not done, but we got visuals. It's a short that I think you guys will love. I hope you guys will love. My husband and I directed it, and I'm geeked up. So let me play y'all a little bit of the acapella, then we're going to come back. Hold on. Yeah, I'm so tired. Look, she tired. Say it, do it, show it, prove it. I think the industry has changed, yes, but I think that R&B music is still loved very much. It seems to be coming back little by little. Ooh, yeah. That's it. That's it. One more time. One more time. Say it, do it, show it, prove it. I think the industry has changed, yes, but I think that R&B music is still loved very much. It seems to be coming back little by little. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. There is an acapella version that will be available as well. You guys can pre-save it. You can pre-order it. It's on iTunes. It's on all platforms. Listen, Future and them just did our record. It's on Grand Theft Auto now too. We decided, you know what? Everybody else has covered our record. Tory Lanez has covered our record. I think the record has been sampled probably about 25 times or some shit. So we like, you know what? Everybody else is doing it. We might as well do it too. And that is going to be the theme of this album. The theme of this album is to go back and revisit our greatest hits. So we got Grapevine coming. We got Half of You coming. We got Sometimes Dancing coming. We got Don't Cry For Me coming. I'm excited. It's just a beautiful thing to feel this way about music again. And like with any business, it's not just about being a great singer. It's not just being about being a great songwriter. It's about being a great human being and like character, you know, and really yeah. So I'm so proud. I'm so proud. So thank you guys. Thank you. Let's see what we're saying here. Matt Kane Music says, If You Love Me was one of the first R&B songs. What? Oh, why is this thing so small? Hold on, guys. I don't know what's happening over here. Let me pull this comment up. Matt Kane Music says, If You Love Me was one of the first R&B songs that caught my ear. Used to play it off my Vibin' CD in, where's that, the UK? Okay, Britain, yes. Nikki, please do more acting. I'm in a movie called He Looked Like the Postcard Film, and I'm starting production on a project at the top of the year in February. So really excited about that. Tiana says, we definitely need a 90s R&B tour. That's hot. I love the intro. Sounds like a dance record. The one. It sounds like a dance record. I love it. Okay, just wonderful. Yeah, those harmonies are tight, honey. Those harmonies are tight. It's a different sound. What's really interesting is Jerry Greenberg, who's the person who actually signed us to NJJ in the 90s. When I posted it on YouTube, on Instagram, Jerry was like, ooh, I was there while those vocals were being recorded. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm really glad that Jerry thinks that those are the actual vocals from the original. They are not. We re-sang all of those notes, baby. So somebody put it best. They said, taking us back while bringing us forward. And that's what this new Brownstone moment is. It's taking us back while bringing us forward. We're 3 generations of women who have different perspectives and will attract a different audience. And I'm just grateful. And I know that Maxie's blessings are all over this. Everything is in divine order and God's timing. This is only our third studio album. We have From the Bottom Up, Still Climbing. And I don't want to reveal the title of this new album, but we giving y'all an album. And I'm really excited about that. I'm very grateful to God. Good evening, JW. My mom used to sing the hell out of your runs at the end of If You Love Me. Yay. Hi, Mom. Hello. The one says, Nikki, how do you stay so grounded? I stay grounded by staying grateful. You know, it's so easy to feel bad about stuff when you got a lot going on and stress be stressing. But I always think to myself, it could be worse, you know? Like even in what feels like the worst of situations, as long as you live to fight another day or another second or another moment, it's not so bad, right? I know it's hard to process a lot of what's going on out here. The economy, crazy people, getting older, being a caregiver, all the responsibilities of life, feeling like you're separating from people, feeling like things just ain't the same. It's just a lot. But I think, wow, it could be so much worse. It could be so much worse. And if you don't believe it, sometimes another thing that I do is I'll go and I'll read stories of actual things that are happening in other countries with children and babies and other people. I'll think about all these alleged victims of the terrible shit that's happening right now. And it just puts me in a space of, well, thank you, God. I'm grateful that while my challenges and my issues may be a little crazy today, I'm still here and it's not quite as bad as the next person. So find myself being more grateful, and that allows me to. You are truly an inspiration for us entrepreneurs. That's my dog. Thank you. That's why I get on here and run my mouth with my long-winded ass. Please hit like on YouTube, because hopefully people can extract some valuable information from this. It's not enough of us out here in this entertainment industry, I think, that are willing to be open and transparent. You guys, I've made so many mistakes. I've done things that, not intentionally, but you know what I'm saying? Just like not knowing the right way to do shit. You know what I mean? And as you probably are starting to discover now, this industry was never set up for us to succeed and thrive. It was set up for us to entertain people and be distracted by shiny things. And it's sad because so many great artists are just not here anymore, and it's terrible. Meech says, now you need my fix. I said, now I know I need my fix, La Trope. And oh my God, Meech. Yes. Okay, we need to talk. I'm going to send it to you after this. Text me. I'm going to send it to you after this. Because, yeah, this one right here, honey, we do need Samantha Stevens' Divinity. Because we're trying to get to Samantha Stevens' Divinity land with this mix of If You Love Me, if you get my drift, honey. Yeah, now. Truly fanning out right now that you're reading my comments. Of course. Come on now. Yeah, guys. Okay, so I want to hit the 2-hour mark. I'm at 1:45. I really appreciate you all. Please visit brownstoneofficial.com. brownstoneofficial.com. That's where all the details of our tour. We have a show coming up. Gassy. We got a show coming up with Keith Sweat and Cut Close. And we have a show coming up with Keith Sweat and Kelly Price. And we unfortunately had to cancel 2 shows because of the storm. Praying that everybody who was impacted and affected by the storm is good. Man, listen, this world is turning into a funny place, baby. And we all got to be right and ready. Random question. What kind of camera are you using? Honey, what kind of camera are we using? It's a 4K camera. I don't know what kind, but it is a 4K camera. Love you, especially on Martin. Again, you guys, the Cash App is $fight for worth. Real quick update on P Valley. And then I'm going to get out of here. We getting closer and closer and closer and closer and sweeter, closer, closer. We getting closer and closer to that doggone oral hearing, you guys. I said this on a previous live. We are going to an oral hearing. Praise God. Hallelujah. Where's my DJ horn at? Hold on. Let me get my DJ horn. We are headed into oral hearing in California on December 5th. This hearing is going to be broadcast for all the world to see on the Ninth Circuit YouTube channel. So make sure you, well, don't worry, because trust me, we'll be broadcasting live. You can come right here to WIRF.tv. Real quick, what the oral hearing is the oral hearing is the first opportunity that we have had since we've been involved in this case over the last 4 years to actually get in front of 3 district judges. I'm sorry, 3 circuit judges, right? Circuit court is a step above the district court, federal district court. And those judges have already had my case. They are giving us the opportunity to go before the 3 judges and argue our case. If you guys remember, the judge ordered that I pay Stars and Lionsgate $650,000 in legal fees. They wanted like 1.5 or something like that. The judge reduced it, but demanded that I pay it. And part of the reason why he wanted me to pay is because he felt like my case was frivolous. Well, the one thing that makes me feel very optimistic is that the Ninth Circuit Court does not typically, and I watched this in a recent interview, they don't hear frivolous cases. So the fact that they're taking the time out to actually hear my case leads me to believe that they believe there's more, that they need to hear about it, and that my case is indeed not frivolous. What happens is when the Ninth Circuit reverses and remands, again, let's say it together, when the Ninth Circuit reverses and remands, one more time for Jesus, when the Ninth Circuit reverses and remands my case back to trial court, meaning it gives me the opportunity to finally go to trial, then we actually then that's when the party gets started. That's when all the evidence and the discovery and all the things happen. So we're doing that December 5th, you guys. Yes, I saw where T.I. and Tiny were awarded a $71 million verdict. That's my fam. I'm so proud of them. You guys, my case going forward in this court is going to set precedent, right? It is going to change history because so many creatives do not have the opportunity. Why did you turn off the camera, honey? You did. The camera's gone. What do you... My husband is fidgeting around trying to tell me to hurry up, I guess. My case is going to set precedent. My case is going to change laws. That's what I'm claiming. Creatives and plaintiffs who typically lose these cases to multi-billion-dollar organizations are going to have a fighting chance when this case is reversed and remanded, right? So the hearing is December 5th. It is live. That means everybody gets to watch it on December 5th. And the defendants are going to argue their case. The plaintiff is going to argue their case. And then they say it takes a couple months or so after that, you know, you find out whether or not we will find out that they reversed and remanded. That's what we claim in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys. So thank y'all for spending this time with me. I know I said I wasn't going to do 2 hours. I'm 10 minutes shy of it. Please hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Please hit the Cash App, $fight for worth. Thank you guys for listening. Big Meech is out. Party's getting started. Brownstone got a new single October 24th at midnight. I need all of you guys to repost our video once we release it because we want to prove that independent artists can actually move units too. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in to Nice with Nikki. Have a safe and wonderful evening. I will see y'all here tomorrow night around the same time. And praying for all of y'all. God bless you. And please continue to pray for me, my family, and my sister who is bravely battling glioblastoma. Head for the Cure is where they accept donations for brain cancer research. All right, guys. God bless you. Have a good night.